Hello guys, welcome back to the channel again. Today we will solve the third question of July Leetcode challenge. So our question is prison cells after end day. So our video will be divided into three parts. First the question discussion, second part will be the solution discussion, and the third part will be the code discussion. So first of all we will discuss the question. So in the question what we have given, we have a cell or a row of 8 prisons in which a prison is either occupied or vacant. So for occupied we have index equals to 1, and if it is vacant then it is equals to 0. Now what we have to do, we have to create a new cell, or we have to modify this cell only in such a way that if a cell has both the adjacent nodes or both the adjacent numbers or whatever it is cells. So if both the adjacent cells are same, both are 0 or both are 1, then we will make it, or we will make it as a occupied, or we will store as a occupied, else we will store as a not occupied. So this is the condition, and we have to iterate this thing of occupied and not occupied up to n times. So in this case we have n equals to 7. So first of all, if we will check for day 0, the string will be as it is. Now day 1 we will check. This is 0, this is 0, so this will be 1. Now next will come. So before this we will test the 0th condition. So in this is not a circular row, so this one will not be considered, and same in the case of the last one also. So we will not check the last one and the first one. So we will first check the second one. The second one, if we check, these both are zeros, so here we will assign 1. Now next both are again 1, then we will assign 1. Now here it is 0, here it is 1, so we will assign 0. Here it is 1, here it is 0, so again we will assign 0. Here it is 0, here it is 1, here it is 0, so again we will assign 0. Here it is 0, here it is 1, so we will again assign 0, and at the end again we have to assign 0. So this is our first iteration, or where n will become 6 after this condition. If n equals to 1, then this will be our answer. Now this will be for n equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for n equals 7 we have to return this. So this is the question which we have to do. So now we will look at the solution, that how we have to solve this question. Now for solving the question we will take this as an example, and where n we will take equals to 3. So first of all we will manually solve. So for this, what will be our answer? In first at 0th index we will take it 0. Now these both are 1, so we will consider it 1. Now this is 0, this is 0, so we will consider again 1. Now whatever next, this is 1, this is 0, so we will consider it 0. This is 0, this is 0, so we will consider 1. So this is 0, this is 1, so we will consider 1. This is 0, this is 1, so we will again consider 0. So in previous also it was 0 only. Now in this is 1, sorry, this is 1 and this is 0, so we will again consider it to be 0, and at the end it is 0. So we have got this for n equals to 1. Now if we will try for n equals to 2, it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and 0. Now for n equals to 4 it will be 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. So this will be our answer, where n our final answer will be 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So this will be our answer. So for solving this question, we will directly apply the brute force. So many of you will not understand that what is a brute force. So brute force is a technique in which we will just apply the code or apply the solution in which the question is saying. Suppose the question is saying that we will just solve, or sorry, we will just check two conditions, that this and this, and then we'll upgrade. So this is the brute force. So what question is saying, directly implementing without using any algorithm, in that it will be, in that condition it will be helpful, or sorry, in that condition if the question will be solved and no time limited exceeded array will be there, so our question is correct or our solution is correct. So first of all, we will try to implement brute force. So for implementing, I'll just write a code here only. So first of all, I'll take a variable, or I'll initialize a vector int with cell, which will store the cells, and I'll initialize all its value by 0. And initially I'll get two things, n and cells, in which n will be the 3 and cells will be this. Now what I'll do, I'll run the loop. How many times? N times, which will be 3. So I'll run the loop n times, and after every execution what I'll do, I'll iterate over all the values from I equals to 1 to I less than n minus, sorry, cells dot size -1 and I plus plus. Now what here I will check, that if cells I index, sorry, I minus 1 index and I plus 1 index of cells are equal or not. So these both are equal or not. If these both are equal, then we will assign cells I index equals to 1, else cells, sorry, cell I index will be assigned as 0. So till now what we have done, we have done our first iteration. So at the end of this loop, this first loop, this we will not consider this second loop, so we will take this as a first loop as an example only. So after this execution of the first loop, what we will get, we will get a cell array in which we will get the next day's condition, means we will get the n equals to 1. So now what we will do, we will assign this to the cell. We will assign this cells to cell. Sorry, we will assign the cell to the cells. Now after this what will happen? Cell will be assigned to cells. So after this, the new value of this cells become this next value. Again this will come, again this cells will be turned to be this, then this will happen, then this will happen. So this is the brute force implementation. Now if I submit the brute force implementation, then I'll check that if time limited exceeded error is there or not. So now if I submit the solution as by brute force method, I got time limited exceeded for a very high value, it is 10 to the power 9. So now what is the problem? So the problem is that for higher value it is not doing. So now we will try to observe some pattern. So how we will observe some pattern? We will use this custom run test. So in this I'll run for first one, I'll run the code and I'll try to find out. So for one I got 0 1 1 0 0 0 0. Now I'll try to find out for 8. So for 8, let's try. So it is different. Now I'll try for 10. And for 10 also it is different. Now I'll try for 14. So it is somewhat different for 14 also. Now I tried for 15. Now we can see that for 1 and 15 we have same value. Now I'll try for 2 and 16. If they both have same, then we can easily understand that for 14 and 1 this is running same. So for 16 first I'll check. So for 16 I'm getting these 3 ones at from last second index. Now I'll check for 2. So for 2 also I'm getting the same. So now we got that if 2's percentage or the remainder of 14 is the answer of remainders 14 is coming to be equal. Now I'll try for one more. For 1 I got, for 15 I got. So it must be equal for 29 also, because 14, 1, 5 and 29, all's difference is 14 only. So for this also it should come same. So it is coming same. Now I'll try for one more. So if we will add 29 plus 14, it will be 43. So I'll try for 43. So for 43 also I am getting the same. So now I have observed a big thing, that there should be easy difference or there should be 14 difference to get same value. Means for if we know the value for 0 to 15, sorry 0 to 14, then we can easily predict the next values. If we have a value for 1, we can predict for 15. If we have value for 2, we can predict for 16. If we have value for 1, we can predict for 43 also. Now for that, now what I'll do, I'll change n's value. Now how I will change the n's value, I will convert n's percentage into n's value. So first of all, what I'll do n percent 14. Now I'll try for n percent 14. So now if I run the code, our answer should be same. So answer is same. Now if I submit the solution, okay, there is some issue that for this it is not running. So we'll now change some code. So for 0 it is not running properly. So we will replace the 0 by 14. Suppose now first of all how I have identified this thing. So now if I run for 14, what is the value? It is 0 1 1 1 and that. Now if I run for 0, what is the value? It is different. So for both we are getting the different. So now what we'll do, if n percent 14 is coming 0, then I'll replace it by 14, else I'll replace it by the value which is coming. So for that I'll use this thing, where we will assign that if it is equals to 14, or if the value is divisible by 14, then we will assign it to be 14 as the remainder. So now if we submit the solution, I'm getting correct answer. And if we see more details, so it beats 100% of the C++ submissions. So we will use this method only. So what is the key observation in this code is to observe the pattern. So in this we got a pattern in which the values are repeating after 14. Now I don't know that why it is repeating after 14, but while doing the iteration or while checking the pattern, we observe that pattern and then we apply that pattern, or while applying we have got the solution. So it is very important to observe some pattern such that you can get our answer. So if you want to apply some brute force, it is very necessary to observe some condition. In some questions brute force will directly be applied, but in higher level or in tough questions it will not be applied directly. You have to observe some pattern, or in most of time you have to apply some algos using brute force. So this is the simple solution for third question of July Leetcode challenge. Thank you guys. For more such content, like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe.